Alright, hello everybody, this is Zaxter99. Time that I got back into Creativerse here, and the one reason I'm doing this is I'm going to make a new series of videos here because I'm looking on the Creativerse forums as more and more people buy this game and get into it. I'm seeing a lot of questions from people, basically asking how do you do this, or how do you do that, or how do you get stone, or what do you do in the game. And this game is a lot different than a lot of games out there where, you go in to play a game and it gives you a tutorial on how to play the game, or even when you get in the game, there's dialogue in boxes or, a voice telling you what to do, how to play, and that kind of thing. With Creativerse, it's basically an open world and you're free to do whatever you want. And this may leave some people, without a lot of intuition or idea of exactly how they go about doing anything. What do you do? How do you do this? Where do you go? Why do you do this? So hopefully what I can do is create a short series of videos to kind of help new people to Creativerse, kind of help you get an idea and a good feel for the game, because this is what is called a sandbox game. And by sandbox, what it means is you have an open world to play with and do whatever you want. There are no rules. It's not like Monopoly, or it's not like a RPG where your object is to get down to the bottom of a dungeon and get all the gold. There's not a tutorial on showing you how to play or showing you how to gather materials. It just basically plops you in an empty world and you're free to do whatever you want. And that's what a lot of people love about these sandbox games like this, is they like the freedom of being just dropped in an empty world and being able to go whatever direction they want and be able to do whatever they want. If they want to go kill monsters, then they can do that. If they want to build a nice home and, just invite their friends over and have a party and chit-chat and connect on TeamSpeak or connect on Skype or whatever and talk with their friends in their home in the game, then they can do that too. So there's really no rules in Creativerse telling you what you can or can't do. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some of the ways to get around and kind of what to look for and how to get started in this game. Probably going to be breaking these videos up into 2 or 3 different videos, so it's not one real long video for you guys to take in. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. From the title screen, when you first buy Creativerse and you go ahead and load it up, you're going to see some different options here. The first option is going to be return you to whatever last world you were in, if you were in a world. So whatever world you were in, if it was your own world, if it was your friend's world, whatever, that's going to be your first option. It's going to return you right back to the last place you were at. So the next option is join a world. This is going to be an option you're going to choose if you want to join, if you want to go back to a world you've already created, if you want to join your friend's world, maybe your friend or your brother or your family member or whoever has created a world in Creativerse and you want to join that, or if you want to join one of the multiplayer servers that Creativerse has, public servers basically, where anybody can go and play, then this would be the option where you would go there. So let's go ahead and take a look at join a world right here. Now you're going to have the first tab here, which is mine. This is all the worlds that you've actually created with your account. So my son has been playing this game, my son and his friend have been playing this game and created a lot of different worlds. If it has a lock on it, that means it's a password protected world. So for example, let's say that you bought this account and your 2 kids, let's say you have 2 kids that are going to play this game. By allowing you to have passwords, let's say you have a daughter and a son, just for an example, that each want to play this game, or maybe it's you and your significant other, whatever it is. But maybe you have kids and you don't want, maybe your daughter doesn't want your son to be able to go into her world because she's afraid that he'll wreck her world, or vice versa. Well, they could put a password on any world they create. You could put a password on any world you create so that somebody online or that somebody in your same house can't go in and grief the world or destroy the world or cause havoc, basically. So it gives you that ability to protect your world that you create from anyone else unless you give them that password. Okay, so that's what that's for. And mine again shows you all the worlds that you've created and what you've named them. You can go into that world. If it's a password protected world, you would obviously have to have the password to go into it. So friends worlds, this is going to show you all your friends on Steam. So if you have a friend on Steam, then they're going to show up on your friends worlds. Also, another thing that's going to show up on your friends worlds is going to be the public servers for Playful, which is Playful Corp, who made this game. So those are going to show up as like Playful 1, Playful 2, Playful 3, Playful 4, that kind of thing. I believe those servers are down right now. They must be, because they're not showing up here. And this is where those would be if those were up. Would be Playful 1, Playful 2, Playful 8, whatever. Basically each world I think holds about 10 people, 8 or 10 people. And when those get filled up, usually they'll open up more servers, Playful 6, 7, Playful 8, however many they need. But right now it looks like those public servers are down, so they're just asking people to create their own worlds or play in their friends' worlds. So anybody that's my friend on Steam that has a world that I've been in, or that has invited me to their friend or whatever, then those worlds are going to show up here. Now right here you notice the number 1. That means I have one friend that's actually playing online. So to find out who that is, I would simply go through here. If I don't know the name of the world, I would need to go through all these worlds until I find the player that would be my friend showing up over here. And any people in these worlds, like this world right here, has no players in it at this moment. If it did, there would be that player's name showing up there. So somebody that's my friend is showing up here, or is playing on one of these worlds. That's my friend. Excuse my voice, I got a cold today, so... Oh, it's right here. So all you'd have to do is look for the 1 right there, and that basically means that this player not is in this world. He's never invited me to this world, so I've never been to this world. So if they're your friend on Steam, their world is going to show up here, and it's going to show that they're in that world. Now, obviously, I'd probably want to get his permission to go into this guy's world and go in there before I started going in there and messing everything up, or crafting stuff or whatever. I'd probably want to have him know that I'm going into his world. He'd probably want to invite me. But more than likely he's going to have a password on it as well. So like, if I wanted to go in here, I would just hit go there. If it's a password, I'm going to need to put in the password to go into his world. So that's how that works. So basically anybody on Steam that's your friend is going to show up in a friend's world. And if you get invited, you can simply go there and join the world, as long as you have their password if it's needed. History is basically going to show you all the different history of all the worlds you've basically played in the order you've played them in, starting at the with the most recent. Now this is basically what the Friends Worlds looks like when you can go onto a public server where anybody's free to join at any time. This is the servers hosted by the Playful Corporation who made the game. They look like Playful 1 and that kind of thing, Playful 2, etc. They look just like that. Okay? And then search would be like, let's say you can't, maybe somebody's not your friend on Steam, but I don't know, they're your friend, or maybe you're at work or whatever talking about the game, and they're like, you know what, as soon as I get off work, I'm going to create a world called Ryan's World. As soon as you get home, go ahead and join me on Ryan's World. Let's play some Creativerse. So here, when you get home and maybe you can't find them in your friend's world or whatever, you can simply search for a world. Or maybe you're on some forums or whatever, and you hear that there's a great world that everybody's invited to go into called, Fun Times or whatever, Everybody come into Fun Times, it's a great world, or Party Time or whatever. You would just type in the name of the world here, hit search, and it's going to show you all the worlds with that name, and you can click on them again, and any friends and stuff like that will show up as you saw before. Anyone you highlight will show any players that are on that world right here. Okay? To go into these worlds, you simply hit go there. Now the thing you're going to want to probably go to when you first get this game is you're probably going to want to play your own world to start off with, so you get a feel for the game, kind of see how the game works, and get comfortable with the game. So what you're going to want to do is choose create a world. Before I go there though, I'm going to show you these last two options. Account settings right now, all that allows you to do is put in your email address. It shows you your Steam ID. Pretty soon it looks like you're going to be able to select a male or female avatar, and maybe some more options as well. But that's all that's there right now, really not a whole lot there. And then your only other option is quit. So I just wanted to show you those because we're fixing to jump in and create our own world here. And we're going to go ahead and call this How to Play. So we're going to call this How to Play because that's what we're talking about here. It's how to play and how to get comfortable with Creativerse. I'm not going to put a password on here, but if you wanted to put a password on here, it's recommended to keep other people, especially if you have a common name. For example, if you had created Fun was the name of your world. Well, a lot of people might look for a server named Fun and come in, and they may not even know you. And if you don't put a password on here, they might come in and mess up your world, or a friend that's on Steam or whatever might come in that's not really your friend, for example, and do things you don't want them to do. So putting a password here that you'll easily remember is recommended. All right? If you don't want to put a password, obviously you don't have to, and I won't be creating a password here. Alright, with that, this video's ran about 10.5 minutes already, it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this video here. It's a good place to stop before we actually jump into the world. Here in this video, I've showed you basically what all the different options are for getting started with Creativerse the first time. So we're going to go ahead and launch ourselves into the world here in video number 2 on getting started with Creativerse. I don't even know what I'm going to name this yet, but I think I'm going to call it Beginner's Guide to Creativerse. So Beginner's Guide 2 on my YouTube channel page right here on Steam will show us when we actually join the world, as I'm doing right here. You see joining world. We'll go ahead and jump in the world starting with video number 2. Be sure you subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Be sure you give me a thumbs up or thumbs down on this YouTube video. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. This has been Zaxter99. We'll see you in video number 2.